to 0. That brings us now to our regular agenda. Our very first item on the regular agenda is a council update about the Orchard Mesa pool. And I have a statement here from the three parties about the status of the pool updates. The City of Grand Junction, Mesa County, and School District 51 provided an update at the publicly noticed meeting of the Board of Mesa County Commissioners on Tuesday morning. That was yesterday, and that was called the Orchard Mesa Pool Discussion on their agenda at 10:30 in the morning, regarding negotiations between the three entities regarding the Orchard Mesa pool. Negotiators on behalf of the three entities reached an initial agreement on November 28th to work collaboratively and amicably to resolve the issue of continued operations of the pool, and that any statements issued thenceforth would be jointly authored. We are currently in negotiations to define the roles and responsibilities of each party in an effort to keep the pool open under certain terms for a defined period of time. We will provide further updates as those negotiations advance and as our respective entities consider options for moving forward.
Know when the right time was to talk, but I'm an accountant by background. And also when I ran, I said I was going to be in favor of this pool, although it may not be totally financially sound decision. And so did other people. It's been bothering me since this came up, and I'm not in favor of this process where we just speak all together, that one of us can't come to a meeting and talk, so I'm coming to a meeting and talk. We have enough money to pay for this pool, and I'll explain why. We budget that we're going to have in our two general funds $44 million of money left over at the end of the year. Now, some of that we have to keep as a minimum fund balance. And if we do what we project, then we may only have less than 10 million of that available to spend on things we want that are not budgeted. But if you look back at last year, when we did the budget, we said that we were going to have 33 million left over. When the year actually ended, we had 41 million. So that, if you just look at last year, we had 8 million more than we thought we were going to have when we did the budget, which is the same stage we're in now. And that's not just last year. It's a common practice around here to budget a low fund balance and then end up, it's good news, we got more money than we thought we were going to have. It is possible that the fund balance this year for a change will come in at the lower level, which would not give us that $8 million difference that I think is right now available. In that case, part of the problem we have in this is we have a minimum fund balance requirement. It's passed by policy by the previous council that says we have to set 25% of our reserves aside only for emergencies. But it also contains a provision that says we can lower that to 20%, which is equivalent to $5 million. I'll wait for you, Anna.
It's okay. I'm just making sure that she's out of here on time. I'm listening. That frees up, that we could easily free up $5 million. Now, some may argue, well, the school district shouldn't get away with this. I mean, they should have to put, that's part of the argument, they should have to put in $800,000. It's only fair. But I guess I would point out that it's not some outside entity that might be taking advantage of the city. It's our school district. It's our education system. So it's not really the end of the world if the school district gets away with something that some people think they shouldn't get away with. I hope I'm making myself clear. But my point is, when we leave here tonight, we should be able to say, we're going to fix that pool up if it only costs $2.4 million because we have the money. Now, the problem might be, maybe it's going to cost more than $2.4 million. This is an old number, and I'm not sure how good it was then when we said it was going to be 2.4. But at least we should say immediately, let's go figure out what it's going to take to fix that. And then come back and say, there's a proposal on the table that I'm making now that easily gives us $5 million. And it will not affect anything immediately within the budget. Now, there's some provisions within the policy talking about on the minimum fund balance that we may have to pay back over in the next year anything we dig into a little bit in the fund balance. But that should be easy to do because we've got a lot of things we spend money on that we don't really need to spend money on. And I would say the Orchard Mesa pool is a higher priority than many of the things that we have in our current budget. So I'm pleading with the council members to listen and to agree that we will not leave here with people wondering what's going to happen. Thank you.
Speaking about the aqua aerobics program that they have.
Could you please, I'm sorry, could you please state your name and where you live? Thank you.
Okay, yeah, my name is Rhonda Bates, and I live on Orchard Mesa. So anyway, the aqua aerobics program is something that they do on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at the Orchard Mesa pool. And it is, you know, is a great benefit to the ladies who go. They just don't hang out on the noodles eating chocolates, you know, while they're there. And it's quite a workout, and it, you know, really gives them a good physical workout for their body. And there's one lady in particular that had a heart condition, and she was on oxygen, and after being in the aqua aerobics program for 4 months, she was able to get completely off her oxygen, and she was off most of her medications for her heart. And it's also a facility for the Veterans Hospital. Their aqua therapy is 5 times a week at Orchard Mesa Pool for 10 to 15 veterans for 6 weeks. And in 2022, there were 70 veterans that came to the Orchard Mesa Pool. The veteran's primary care physician prescribed the pool for a variety of treatments, including pain management, after-surgery rehabilitation, cardiac health management, elder care maintenance, and mental health management. When St. Mary's facility closed down, the Orchard Mesa Pool welcomed the veterans with open arms, and they've been there ever since. And these are our veterans. They're not just a bunch of lazy old bums. They put their lives and their fortunes on the lines so that you and I can be free, and so that we can have the best country in the world. The pool, for the pool, community matters, family matters, and veterans matter. Please keep the Orchard Mesa pool open.
Thank you. Ms. Bates, was it?
Yeah,
Thank
Bates.
You. Okay, thank you very much. Next.
Thank you.
I am Mercedes Borman, and I also live in the Orchard Mesa area. And I wanted to talk about my mom. She's the lady who's in the wheelchair. And when she first started, she could not move anything from the neck down. And the best therapy for her is going to the pool. When we first started going to the pool, she was on 4 noodles, and 2 people had to swim next to her to make sure that she wouldn't roll over and drowned. And now she's swimming in the pool, she's walking in the pool, she is always making bounds, and it's so amazing to see that. And she swims at Orchard Mesa Pool, and they have great lifeguards there. They always make sure that the pool or the battery for the lift is working. There's been times where we've been to a pool and my mom has literally been stuck in the air. And that has never happened at Orchard Mesa. So we need to keep it open so we can continue to have miracles happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Borman.
Good evening. I'm Rob Scribner. I'm a retired physician, and I live in Palisade. I swim 5 days a week at Orchard Mesa, and I think I'm the longest surviving lap swimmer there. I've been at it for about 15 years. And I just want to comment a little bit on Rhonda, who is an inspiration to us all. She was quadriplegic, or I guess still is, but has improved so much. She comes to the pool, and we've unofficially claimed Rhonda's lane, which is lane 6. If she shows up, everyone clears out, and she's an inspiration to us all. I would like to read a letter that I wrote to the newspaper, I think 2 years ago. As a regular lap swimmer at Orchard Mesa Pool, I am grateful that we have a public swimming pool in Grand Junction open year-round. As a physician, I appreciate the health benefits that the pool offers to a lot of people. More specifically, there is a large number of overweight people who frequent the pool, including myself. I'll be in that crowd. They are attracted to water exercise that its buoyancy provides. This exercise is one of their best options for continued good health. I understand, well, let's see. I strongly urge its continued availability to the community. And I would like to, at this point, pledge $5,000 if you can pledge that you can keep the pool open indefinitely. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Scribner. Ms. Healy?
Okay, so I'm not from here. I'm currently a citizen here, okay? When I was young, my podunk town, we did football, right? And if you didn't do football, then you did track or you did cheerleading for football. And I have this really funky, weak ankle, and I don't run very well. I run like a wounded gazelle about to get eaten by a lion. With that being said, had Gainesville offered an indoor swimming pool with a diving team and UIL competitions and a swim team, maybe it would have given a gangly little girl like me a chance to actually be able to swim and compete. And everybody knows UIL brings in money.
Thank you, Ms. Healy.
Good evening. My name is Karen Stahl, and I'm a relatively new resident of Grand Junction. Although I've only lived here full-time since July and still have much to learn about my new hometown, I have lived in 10 other communities, and I feel like I can recognize a sense of community when I see it and when I feel it. The folks here tonight and those who have been working on this issue literally since 2016 and the last attempt to close the Orchard Mesa pool are tangible evidence that Orchard Mesa is a vibrant part of this community. They are pushing you to recognize that they feel the Orchard Mesa pool is the soul and heart of their community within this city. Politicians may create cities, but they don't create a sense of community. The feeling that I belong to something bigger than myself, my family, and that I'm a part of a community like Orchard Mesa and the city of Grand Junction. At best, governing bodies like this council can support conditions that allow citizens to develop and strengthen a sense of community, or they can take other measures that destroy those same things. These constituents who are here tonight and those who have fought so long and so hard for this pool have given you a gift, a strong, positive sense of community that most of your counterparts in other cities only hope for. And now they're asking you to recognize that the OM pool is a defining part of Orchard Mesa. Supporting a pool in OM shows that the larger community of this city is willing to invest in Orchard Mesa, even though it is not a richer, more influential, or more economically vibrant part of Grand Junction. If you and perhaps the Mesa County Commission invest in Orchard Mesa and in the OM pool, you will be showing everyone in this community that they are an important and valued part of our larger community. Please listen to Orchard Mesa. If there is a better plan than spending $2.4 million to save the existing pool, I believe you can and should lead the way to find it. The community center, which is on the agenda tonight, is a worthwhile addition to Grand Junction, but it is too far away to be a replacement or a substitute for the OM pool. So I look forward to supporting the community center after this council recognizes the importance of the Orchard Mesa pool to this community.
Thank you, Ms. Stahl.
Hi, my name is Renee Fugere, and I live at 382 Evergreen Road. I grew up in Palisade and, in fact, was the first hired recreation director way back then. We're not going back that far, but we had opened the pool, started the department. So I'm very much in favor of anything with Parks and Recreation in our gorgeous valley. I'm here to speak on behalf of the Orchard Mesa Pool. During the winter, my kids would go swim at the Orchard Mesa Pool. I took lifeguarding classes up there, and over the years have used it. I had recently been a teacher. I'm retired, but when I worked out at Loma, I would use the Fruta pool, which was nice to have that beautiful facility out there. So right now I'm a lap swimmer at the Orchard Mesa Pool. I go twice a week. I've been going since I retired recently from teaching, and I love it. I'm glad to be back there all the time, and I'm totally in favor of keeping it, even if and when I hope we get a community center. I'm 100% for that, but I also feel we still need to keep that pool open. It's viable to our community, and we're talking about people to come in and move here to Grand Junction, all the tourism that's coming in. People want to have a place to go swim year-round. So, but I also thank you tonight for getting together the three entities and coming up with a plan. I know you've been working hard on that, so I appreciate all the work that the council and you guys have done on that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Fugere. Next.
I'm not very good with microphones. Can you hear me?
Yes, and feel free, it's adjustable, so you
Yeah,
can
no,
move it up if
it's
you need.
okay. I just don't want to get too close or too far away. I'm just going to read from my notes because.
Okay, before you begin though, will you state your name? And-
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Thank you.
My name is Lee Stegan, and I've lived in Grand Junction since 1983. I've been swimming off and on at the Orchard Mesa Pool since 1985. I've also coached Special Olympics swimmers at the Orchard Mesa Pool. During all the years that I have been coming to the pool, I have never witnessed any kind of extensive maintenance or repairs that a facility like this requires. That is why we now find ourselves in our current situation with a possible closing down and demolishing of our beloved Orchard Mesa Pool. I understand that there will be a proposal on the ballot again for the voters to decide in April whether to build a new recreation center for something like $77 million. My suggestion would be scaling down on these current plans for about $3 or $4 million to pay for all of the needed maintenance and repairs for the OM pool. This could be presented to the voters. This way we could save our beloved Orchard Mesa pool and still build a new recreation center. I also understand that the new rec center, if approved, would not break ground until 2025. My proposal would allow for the immediate renovation of the OM pool and still have plenty of money left over to build the future rec center. Thank you for your interest and attention concerning this important public issue.
Thank you, Mr. Stegan. Ma'am?
My name's Randy Garcia. I live on East Orchard Mesa on my peach farm. I've been going to the Orchard Mesa pool. Next month will be 25 years. In all those 25 years, I've never lived one day inside the city limits. I've always driven from either Whitewater or Palisade. The point I would like to make tonight is about the square footage that the CRC is proposed, and how a community of this size needs to keep the Orchard Mesa pool open. If you look at the information off of the Parks and Rec's website, you'll see that the city of Montrose has an 80,000 square foot facility, but their population is only 20,600. Your proposal for the CRC is 83,000 square feet, and yet we have a population just in the city limits that's over 3 times the size of Montrose. I think that it's really necessary to keep the Orchard Mesa pool open as a supplement to the new CRC proposal, because of the size of the valley being so vast and because of the square footage that we need for the pool. I thank you for letting me speak, and I hope you'll take all our concerns into your hearts. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, I remember this time, and City Council members and community members. My name is Mary Ann Taigman, and thank you for allowing us to comment tonight. This is not about me, even though I am a lifelong swimmer. This is not about pointing fingers. It's about our community. All of us working together as one. We are not here to point fingers at any of the current financial partners. And I really wish, like all of you, that this whole issue had not blown up like it has. It's very unfortunate that the pool board was dissolved in 2020 and that we don't have a mediator to help all 3 entities to come up with a solution that works for all involved. We are here to listen and to participate in the discussion of how we can collectively and collaboratively as a community, which includes all of us, the council, everyone here, as a team, continue to fund a much-needed facility in one of the parts of our community that has a high percentage of low-income families. We are all on the same page as a collective community, as we all know the health benefits and the mental and emotional benefits of having a community pool. All of our families, but especially low-income families, the underserved community members, have very few year-round recreational opportunities in our area. Having worked for 22 years for D51 as a school-based occupational therapist, I had many students that I worked with who swam and had their birthday parties at the Orchard Mesa pool. A birthday party with approximately 10 children at the Orchard Mesa pool costs around $50 versus approximately $200 at private venues. Our children can learn to swim and swim safely at the Orchard Mesa pool because of the incredibly well-trained lifeguards who have ongoing year-round training at the Orchard Mesa pool. As you know and have been told, you all know that there's many different facets of our community that use the Orchard Mesa pool regularly. We appreciate the continued communication as far as updates to us regularly with public announcements. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Taigman.
Hello. Hello, my name is Noah Bradshaw. I'm a resident of Grand Junction. I just wanted to come up here and once again show my support for the pool. I know that it is a very important asset to this community, as we keep hearing, and I'm just wanted to say I'm quite excited for the new announcement that we're trying to keep that pool up and going, and I look forward to seeing what the council and the other 2 entities have to propose coming forward, and I'm just looking forward to like I said, just looking forward to seeing what you guys have to offer, as well as just I appreciate having the transparency that you guys have with keeping updates with that. But I just want to say thank you once again, and just wish you all a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bradshaw. Mr. Allen.
Hello. Ooh, excuse me. Hello, council. Let me try to adjust this a little bit here. Perfect, thank you. So believe it or not, I do not go looking for fights. I just desperately love this community, and in this hall tonight we have some amazing people, some real citizens that want to see a better community, not just in Orchard Mesa, but also with the new recreation center. Two things that I've knocked hundreds of doors for and plan to do it again. I will, I promise you, Sue. I'll be out there with you. But what we see here and what I've learned in this experience is this can has been kicked down the road for 40 years. And it's enough. And you can do it. This council, I know, can do it. This council ran on taking risks. This council ran on listening to the community and leading, and you all can do it. I know it's a 3-entity thing, but since I've been here, it's the city that's led on this effort. And I know this city council can finish this off. And with that momentum, we're gonna get one of the most beautiful community centers on the Western Slope. And then we're gonna have the best swim teams in the country. And we're gonna keep on going. And you all are the ones that we're gonna do it. So thank you so much, council. Thank you, President Heights, for coming too, and for the school district. I hope the county's listening as well. And let's make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Allen.
Good evening. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak this evening. And thank you to all three parties for working to make sure that this pool stays open. Like my friend Noah, I'm very, very excited to hear that that is what all three entities are trying to do. So thank you. That's all that we want in all of this.
Please don't forget to state your name for the record.
My name is Carissa Fisher.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. My name is Carissa Fisher. I've lived here in Grand Junction, Colorado my whole life, aside from my 4 years in college. And I'm a former lifeguard at Orchard Mesa, Lincoln Park, and Palisade Community Pools. I want to state that this pool is so much more than just a pool. I keep hearing this, and I just need you all to know that this is more than that, or just an interest in community recreation. We've heard some incredible stories that I think attest to just that this evening. None of us here are fighting for our jobs, and most of us haven't even worked there in years. We're here because we want this pool to continue to save lives and to change them. In college, I had to read a book on city planning, and it was the driest text that I've ever read, but I think about that book every single day. And a point that the author made is that investing in all communities in a city creates health, economic stability, and public safety for the neighborhoods where that investment happened and the city at large. The book is The Life and Death of Great American Cities by Jane Jacobs. I don't recommend it, but there's some good stuff in there. I'm excited to hear all three entities are working to keep this pool open for, I believe you said, some period of time. But please consider making this a permanent change, even with the hope of a new community rec center. And I'm with Nick here. I'll knock on doors too. I also want it. This community of Orchard Mesa needs this resource, if that rec center gets built or not. If we can't keep it, that community enrichment in Orchard Mesa is virtually gone. This pool is tattered, and the staff in the city have done everything that they can to keep it in optimal condition and have maintained its safety to the community, but it needs some love and it needs some help. And I believe that it'll enrich our entire city if we can make that happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fisher. Though I think you did break some of our planners' hearts back there, calling their textbooks boring. Next up, Ms. Healy, you've already spoken, so it's only 1 3-minute section per person. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. My name is Stephanie Anderson, and I am an Orchard Mesa resident. I live over by the Chipeta Golf Course. I've been in Grand Junction now for 5 years, and I swim at the pool twice a week, or had been swimming at the pool twice a week. Prior to that, I used to swim when I first came over here at the Mesa Gym. I've also swam in the university, and if anybody wants to freeze, you can go to the university because you know, you freeze. I have used both the university and I've also used Orchard Mesa Pool for diving, because if nobody knows, you can actually go and test your equipment, take lessons, And there's only a few pools in this city that will allow for that. Orchard Mesa Pool is deep enough to allow for that. And when we had a scuba shop here that Joe Adams ran, he would actually give lessons at the Orchard Mesa Pool. Hopefully someday that will come back by somebody else. But the point is that there are so many uses at that pool that I think our public, they are not even aware of it. And I hear how low income and other factors come into play with Orchard Mesa. I think we need to broaden who we're looking at and the people that come, because it's not just the low income, it's all walks of life. And I see and I've met people from Palisade, from Fruita, from Loma, because they come to Orchard Mesa Pool because it is a great pool. It may be run down and it may need some work. It already has a lot of love. It has a love from all the people that come there. The lifeguards are fantastic. I've seen the lifeguards at the university, and I hope if there's anybody here, I apologize for this, but they do not give you the attention that the lifeguards at the Orchard Mesa Pool give you. I see them rotating every, around 20 minutes. They are so watchful and they are so careful about everything they do. This is the kind of community that we need to build off of. And we need to share it with all of Grand Junction, not just Orchard Mesa. I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Anderson. Ms. Neese.
Hi, my name is Teresa Neese. I live in unincorporated Mesa County up on Orchard Mesa. My family and I have been patronizing the Orchard Mesa Pool since we moved here in 1990 in various aspects, swimming lessons, the high school swim team, getting lifeguard certification, etc. And then as involved as you all know that I am in kind of city and county affairs, I wasn't aware that the swimming pool was closed until I got to walk up to a locked door one day. And it just said closed for repairs. Upon searching the city website, it still says that there's not an announcement of that. I'm just asking, even though this is a county, school district, and city feat, the city is kind of the poster child for Orchard Mesa Pool. Can you please post some updates to the general community? There's a handful of people here that use the pool tonight that know what's going on, but there's many, many more people that have probably walked up and have no idea that they can help influence a decision, they can help influence budget decisions, or speak with their commissioners, or speak with their school district representatives. They just have no idea where to go, I'm sure. So I'm just asking if you would help to update the public by putting announcements on the actual pool and on the website so that more citizens can understand what's going on and what they might be able to do about it to have their voice be heard. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Neese.
Hi, my name is Loyola Sanchez, and I'm here to advocate for the young kids of Orchard Mesa. I live in Orchard Mesa. My mother lives directly across from the pool. I live 6-10 miles from the pool. I see children on the weekend, during their school breaks, in the summer, walking, riding their bikes to the pool, and the proposed recreation center that I don't believe that they will have access to, the distance is not viable for these kids to get to. So I believe that we should keep in mind that we want these kids off the street and out of trouble. Thank you.
Thank you. Was it Ms. Sanders? Thank you. Ms. Anderson.
Good evening, Council. Nina Anderson. I live in Fruitvale. Whatever your decision is as a group, I would make a strong plea that it is put in writing, that we know what each of the entities is accountable for, that staff then can hold themselves accountable for, build it into their budgets, and making sure that whether it's this pool or a new pool is maintained going into the future. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ms. Anderson. So